Hey there. Today I decided to talk about passive skills on your pals and what's good with what. Like these jet Ragon, they're incredibly fast, but if you give them the skills Legend, Nimble, Runner, and Swift, their movement rates will increase by 15, 10, 20, and 30%, making them incredibly fast. If you can get all four on one, that'd be amazing. But you'd have to breed them like I'm doing, and I haven't really had much luck trying to get all four on them. As if you're really trying to get more than two, it gets increasingly harder, exponentially harder. Another reason I'd like to talk about skills is because every time I try to look up skills on the internet, there seems to be what I could only call rumors about skills. Like, for some reason on the internet, I see Sirius. It says that Sirius works with all your pals, so if you put them on a base, it'll work with all of them. So if you have a whole bunch of Sirius pals on your base, they're going to be incredibly strong. That is not the case. It only works on the pal that it's on. Then motivational leader. When I looked that one up on the internet, what I find is it adds to player movement 30%. I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. But that is just not the truth. They don't even get the number right. It's 25% and it's player work speed. So I decided to help you guys out and figure things out. Like if you want pals that you're just taking along, I always take ones with Vanguard on them. Ta-da! The only other one that I could recommend if you want to make yourself more powerful for battle is Stronghold Strategist. That one increases your defense by the same amount. So if you have five of these, it's 50%, and of course, the larger number you have, the bigger it gets at the end. However, trying to get pals that have both and trying to get them to breed to actually get both on there is quite hard. I've bred hundreds of these things. I've actually got one of these that I actually bred so many that were useless to me that I started combining them, and now they have a level 5 Nightmare Stare, their partner skill, which if I fire that, it's going to do a ton of damage. I'm absolutely terrible at making bases. Never make your base right here. This is just terrible. Did it early on in, and I just don't have the courage to destroy it and build one in a better place. This device right here is very good for when you're trying to get the right skills. Like if you want to breed a ton of chickens so that they can make tons of things for you, you can get Artisan, Lucky, Serious, and Work Slave together. All four of those, which would probably take you a million years, but if you want four, you could do that. Artisan is just amazing. Adds 50% work speed. Lucky, of course, those shiny ones you find walking around. Like one of the first times I started playing, I was like, oh my god, it's a giant chicken. Those ones will have Lucky on them. Serious, they just randomly have that one. And Work Slave, they also randomly have. 30% work speed, but it minuses 30% attack, so don't bring those with you. If you have one with Work Slave and it has Vanguard, don't bring it out. If that's all you got, that's all you got, but it's not going to do much damage. It's much like having the Cativas in the beginning that all have Coward on them. I've heard you can breed that out, but it's just not worth it. I do love Cativas in the beginning because their partner skill helps you lift more, and of course in the beginning, as you start putting on more equipment, you can carry less wood or ore or whatever you want to do. So, let's see. Oh yeah, as you level up their pal skill in here by combining literally hundreds of them. Once you get to level 5, I've noticed. Let's see. Oh, maybe I can see it better in here. Yeah, like whatever they do, one of those, like if they have their logging or whatever, and multiple other ones, one of them, as it gets to level 5, will gain 1 point, which really is not worth it for the effort it takes to go through all of that. I have not seen it change a 4 to 5, and it doesn't seem to be random. I've always gotten the same one to raise, so each one of these will have a different one that'll raise from like a 1 to a 2 or a 3 to a 4, which I've seen. So while you're working on breeding these guys, which you got to make tons of cake, like even on me right now, yeah, I have 63 cake, and this is basically a cake factory. I could put more wheat in here, but these guys have problems with their pathing as is, so the more of these I put in, the more stupid they get. Like every time I come back here after a couple hours of play, like they'll just be standing out here, because what'll happen is if their pathing gets screwed up, they'll usually teleport to behind this thing over here. However, if there's a glitch in the game, I don't know what triggers it, but after a while of playing, like they'll end up in wrong places, like over here. Yeah, I built way too close to this city, because the closer you are to this city, the less area you can build in. This whole blue area over here, it's like you're too close to a special area you can't build. And by the time I discovered that, I had already built my base up and had everybody working, and I was like, oh, I'm too lazy to make a new base. I even tried doing a second floor like I did over here. If you notice, I had to put two staircases together, because if any large pal gets under here and it's just one staircase, they will become stuck and they'll literally just spin around trying to get out. Very funny, not very useful. And be careful when you're building these things, because I always hit the load-bearing one when I'm trying to cut it so it works better. Like, you can cut this one, nothing will happen. But if I cut this one right here, everything up here connected to it's just going to fall apart because it's not connected to the stairs. Unlike Craftopia, there's actual some physics. Not much, but since there's basically none in Craftopia when you're building, you can literally build in that game in the air, and it's quite funny. The only difference is like mining excavators in that game, like if you drop them from the air, they can land on the bedrock, which is a good tip, because usually the mining excavators, they're red and people don't know what's going on. Hop in the air, build it above where you want it to land, and as long as nothing's in the way, it'll just drop on top and start working. So there's a tip for Craftopia if you play that game. But yeah, there's so many skills in this game, and there's so many rumors about them. Like, I thought I'd dispel some rumors and tell you what's best. So you got to figure out what you want. If you've basically got something you want to move you around, either flying, swimming, whatever, the movement skills are the way to go. And if you want like these guys to work faster, each and every one of them has to have like artisan and whatnot. If you can only get one, I would recommend artisan. There's no bad sides if you're just going to have them like mine all day, or work on these. As long as you don't bringing them with you, it doesn't matter. There are several attack skills, like if you need them to be powered up, which I don't recommend, because in the end, you're the most powerful thing. The pals kind of drop off, even like these special pals, like, yeah, this is a raid boss, and I can outdamage her by a ton with my rocket launcher. I'll hit for like 8,000, and she'll do like 2,000. I know it's very stat dependent, skill dependent, which is why I'm trying to teach about them. So basically, try to get as many attack skills or defense skills, depending on what you want them to do. Like if you notice a pal has a boatload of hit points, like try to buff those any way you can. Like if you can't find anything in the game that raises hit points through skills, you could definitely do defense, which is something I've seen. I don't know that I've seen a skill that adds to hit points. Yeah, like Sadus. I always hate this. Turns it into a glass cannon. These ones can be hit or miss. Like this guy, I don't even know if he has any dragon skills, so it doesn't really help out. now. It's all fire, and I think that's dark. Yeah. And you get weird ones, like every time I see hooligan, my brain goes, what is that? It's another one that there's so many skills that increase like attack and then reduce work speed, or increase defense and do the same. Yeah. These ones are also hit or miss because you don't really know what's going to be necessary when you first get these things. Like if you get this on a Cativa in the beginning, which can happen, is it going to help? Is it not going to help? Who knows? Depends on what you want to bring and what you want to fight. So you could literally breed these to be like perfect against like the tower bosses if you want. Like if you know like dragon and fire or something they use, you can actually get like the defensive skills against that. Raise their defense, raise their attack. Because in the middle, these guys are way better than you, and at the end, once you actually start getting like legendary blueprints, like I've literally critically hit with my rocket launcher and done so much damage, like 40 to 60,000 damage, 14,000 attack power. Like the pals have like attack powers 150, 160, which seems amazing in the beginning, but in the end, you're way more powerful than that. Yeah, you actually get these from dungeons. You can combine them, and then you can go fight raid bosses. And then once you have a male and a female, the raid bosses, you can start breeding them because, as far as I know, that raid boss is the only thing that can make another raid boss. There are special ways to get specific pals. Like if you wanted Anubis, like literally the very first time I bred, I found a Bushi that attacked my base. And then I really loved the Peng King. He was just killing everything that I was having trouble with in the beginning. So I was like, okay, I'll take my two coolest guys and put them together. And when they had a child, they had an Anubis. And that's not normal because with breeding, usually like, say these are like a 1 for like their breeding. Well, a male and a female would add up to be 2 because you're adding them, and then it divides by 2 because there's 2 of them, and you'd basically get this. This is literally why you can breed 2 of these together, because let's say they're 200, 200 plus 200 is 400. Divide by 2, you get 200. So what happens is like if you have incredibly high breeding power ones, like the raid bosses, and then you breed them with anything else, you will not get a raid boss. Then their numbers are too high. Because 201 would be, the game would probably consider it 100 because it'd probably round down, but if it rounds up, it'd be 101. So whichever one has that number, that's what you'd get. And I'm not talking about like their order number or their PAL deck number, but whatever their math says. It's like at 100, get one of these or whatever. Vixie's like, the reason I got this one up so high with Dig Here is that one actually gives you pal balls as it digs. It also gives you money and arrows. And since I have a legendary crossbow, having infinite free arrows is amazing. So even having a level 1 of this was amazing. Yeah, I literally bred so many of these that I have a level 2 and a level 5. It's like probably 200 of these things. It gets ridiculous. But that's what happens when you try to get perfect skills on them. And as you notice, these do not have really good skills. So you can do hundreds upon hundreds of them and get nothing that you wanted. Because I really, really tried to get just Vanguard and Stronghold Strategist. And I got none of these that have that on that. Like if both of them had it and you bred them, there would be an incredibly good chance of getting Vanguard and Stronghold Strategist. But due to the random numbers, it could be completely blank. It could take them off and add new skills. It just increases your chances of getting what you want. Well, I think I've said enough on my topic today, so I'll let you guys go. Have a good day and see you later.